Christmas University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
So here we are. Amazing how Christmas creeps up on us every year. This is the 10th year of our little seasonal contest for distinguished alumni. 14 teams have accepted our invitation to compete over the next few nights, despite the disobliging circumstances we all find ourselves in, which might have persuaded them to remain at home, curled up on the sofa in slippers and a onesie. Instead, armed with hand gel, face masks, letters of transit, and an instruction manual on how to get themselves safely to the studio, they've come here to entertain us all with everything they know about pretty much anything. We're going to play 7 first-round matches, but out of the 7 winning teams, only the 4 with the highest scores will return to play again. Now, the first team in the contest are all graduates of Christ College, Cambridge, and their first player is reckoned to be the only Premier League footballer to have had a Cambridge University education. He's here having played 587 games in the Premier League and the Championship with Ipswich Town, Watford and Queen's Park Rangers. He now provides technological support to Premier League clubs as head of data solutions. Now, their next player has won numerous awards for his writing, including Young Journalist of the Year, a few years ago now, of course. His memoir, The Boy with the Top Knot, was named Mind Book of the Year and became a BBC drama, and he's presented numerous documentaries, including Channel 4's 2019, The Massacre That Shook the Empire, and he contributes frequently to television and radio. He was also best man at the wedding of the team's captain, who is an award-winning artist regularly exhibiting in the UK and the USA. His television documentaries have covered Scottish art and Charles Rennie Mackintosh. He's been a judge on the BBC's Big Painting Challenge, and he's one of the presenters on BBC 4's initiative to get us all drawing by screening a live life drawing class. Their final team member has published collections of poetry and short stories, a novel, non-fiction and drama, and in doing so has been shortlisted for the T.S. Eliot Prize and the Costa Prize, winning the Fenton Aldborough Prize in 2015. She appears regularly on radio and TV and has co-edited a book about 2 of her great passions, poetry and pubs. Let's meet the Christ Cambridge team.
Hello, my name's Steve Palmer. I graduated from Christ with an engineering degree in 1989. I now work for the Premier League in London.
Hello, I am Sathnam Sanghera. I'm an author and a writer for The Times, and I graduated in English from Christ in 1998.
And this is their captain.
Hello, I'm Lachlan Goudie. I also graduated from Christ College in 1998 in English, and I'm an artist, author and broadcaster.
I'm Helen Mort. I'm a poet. I graduated from Christ in 2007 with a degree in social and political science, and I now teach creative writing at Manchester Metropolitan.
Now let's meet their opponents. First, for St John's College, Oxford, is a filmmaker and visual effects designer whose work has twice won him an Oscar for Inception and Interstellar. He's also supervised the visual effects for several films from the Batman and Harry Potter franchises, earning BAFTA nominations along the way, and is the co-founder of an international digital visual effects studio. His colleague was appointed business editor for BBC News in 2016. Before entering journalism, he spent a decade working in finance in London and New York, after which he worked for the Daily Telegraph, and in 2004 he joined the BBC's Business and Economics unit, working on BBC Radio 4's Today programme and Radio 5 Live's Wake Up to Money. Their captain's novel, The Debt to Pleasure, won the 1996 Whitbread Award in the first novel category, and last year his novel, The Wall, was longlisted for the Booker. He's been a book editor, a food critic, a contributing editor of the London Review of Books, and a regular contributor to the New Yorker magazine. His bestseller, Capital, dealt with the financial crisis of 2008 and became an acclaimed TV series. Their fourth team member is the director of the Centre for Neuroscience in Education at the University of Cambridge. Her research focuses on dyslexia and has earned her numerous awards, including the British Psychology Society Spearman Medal and the Norman Geschwind Rodin Prize. She has served on the National Curriculum and National Literacy Project and is a Fellow of the British Academy. Let's meet the St John's Oxford team.
Hello, I'm Paul Franklin. I studied fine art at St John's and graduated in 1989. These days, I design digital visual effects for Hollywood movies and television shows, and I am the creative director and co-founder of DNEG Visual Effects.
Hello, I'm Simon Jack. I graduated with a degree in politics, philosophy and economics from St John's in 1992, and I'm currently a financial journalist for the BBC.
And this is their captain.
Hello, I'm John Lanchester. I read English at St John's. I graduated in 1984 and I'm a writer.
Hello, I'm Usha Goswami. I did a degree in psychology at St John's and then also my DPhil at St John's, Oxford. And now I'm a professor of psychology at St John's College, Cambridge.
OK, well, you all know it's 10 points for starters and 15 for bonuses. Starter questions have to be answered individually, but bonuses are team efforts. So fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. Choreographed by Matthew Bourne and premiered in 1992, a modern version of which ballet?
St John's Jack.
Swan Leg?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. A modern version of which ballet begins one Christmas Eve at Dr. Dross's...
Christ's Mort.
Is it the Nutcracker?
The Nutcracker is correct, yes. These bonuses are on films associated with Christmas. In each case, name the film in which the following lines appear. Firstly, this is extremely important. Will you please tell Santa that instead of presents this year, I just want my family back?
It's a Home Alone.
It is Home Alone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Home Alone is correct. Snow had fallen steadily all night, and in the morning I woke in a room filled with light and silence. The world seemed to be held in a dreamlike stillness. It was a magical day. Those words appear in the spoken introduction to which film of 1982?
I don't know.
Santa Claus the movie? Was that 80s?
Santa Claus the movie.
No, it's The Snowman. Merry Christmas, movie house. Merry Christmas, Emporium. Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It is a wonderful life, yes. Right, 10 points for this. Queen Anne, Samuel Johnson, Isaac Newton and Benjamin Franklin are among those who suffered from what metabolic disorder? Characterised by uric acid deposits in the joints of the extremities, resulting in...
St John's Lanchester.
Gout.
Gout is correct. You get a set of bonuses on which magazine's 2020 list of the top 50 historic attractions in the UK, as rated by its readers. In each case, name the attraction from the description. First, rated the UK's best value historic attraction, the Norman Cathedral that overlooks the River Wear.
Fountains Abbey.
No. I'm astonished it's Durham Cathedral. Built for the 10th Earl of Cassilis, the building that beat Edinburgh and Dover castles to the title of the UK's best castle. It looks out over the Firth of Clyde towards the Isle of Arran.
No idea. No.
No idea.
It's Culzean Castle. Voted the overall best historic attraction, the ship now permanently berthed at Leith. Once aboard, visitors can marvel at the adjoining bedrooms of the Queen and Prince Philip. I need a 3-word name.
The Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth II.
Or is it the Royal Yacht Britannia?
Yeah, the Royal Yacht Britannia.
All right, try that.
I think we're going to go with Royal Yacht Britannia.
Well, you're right. 10 points for this. Often depicted slaying a bull. What ancient Indo-Iranian deity was at the centre of a cult popular with the Roman military in the 3rd and 4th centuries? Some believe that the Nativity of Jesus is observed on the 25th of December to coincide with his supposed birthday.
St John's
Mithras.
Lanchester.
Mithras is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on elements with atomic numbers 1 to 10 inclusive. In each case, name the element from the description. Firstly, in addition to helium, the only noble gas that has an atomic number lower than 11.
Could be hydrogen.
No, hydrogen's not a noble gas.
Freon. What's the other one?
Hydrogen, helium, lithium, barium, boron, carbon.
Xenon.
Try xenon.
Come on.
No, it's not.
No.
Is it-
Neon? Or nitrogen?
can we try nitrogen?
No, it is neon. Bad luck. The element that is a constituent of methane, dry ice, and cyanogen.
Nitrogen.
Yeah.
That's nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
No.
Hang on.
It's hydrogen.
I'm sorry, you've answered already. It's carbon.
Yeah.
And finally, the gas that makes up about 4/5 of Earth's atmosphere.
That's nitrogen.
That one's nitrogen.
That is nitrogen, yes. Right, for your picture starter question, you're going to see the logo of an organisation within the United Nations with some wording removed. For 10 points, give me the organisation's 3-word name.
St John's Franklin.
The World Food Programme.
It is the World Food Programme, yes. So we'll see the whole thing there. That was the logo which you were asked to identify. It was the 2020 winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. For your bonuses, you'll see the logos of 3 more agencies of the United Nations that have been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. 5 points for each you can name. Firstly, I need a 4-word name.
That's a nuclear or atomic something.
Well, it's a United Nations one, so it's
United Nations Atomic Agency.
the International Atomic Energy.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
okay, that sounds
The International Atomic Energy Agency.
That is correct. Here's the whole thing. And secondly, this represents the UN High Commission for what specific issue?
Refugees.
Refugees, HCR, is it United
Refugees.
Nations?
Go for it, Usha.
Refugees.
It is refugees, yes. Let's see the whole thing. There we are. And finally, an acronym is sufficient here.
Is that UNESCO? No, that's culture.
It's is it not?
Isn't it the Global Education Challenges? Something like that.
Yes, that feels right.
It's something to do with the Global Education Challenges.
No, it's not. It's UNICEF. It's the United Nations Children's Fund. So, 10 points at stake for this starter question. Now in London's National Gallery, Bronzino's Mannerist work of around 1545, an allegory with Venus and Cupid, is the source of the animated foot that from the late 1960s appeared in the opening titles.
St John's Franklin.
Monty Python's Flying Circus.
It is, yep. You're a bit late there, matey. Here are your bonuses then, St John's. They're on Ravi Shankar, whose birth centenary was celebrated in 2020. In the 1930s, Ravi Shankar toured extensively in India and Europe with his older brother Uday Shankar's group, studying music and which other art form?
Must be dance, surely. Music and dance.
Try it.
Dance.
Dance is correct. Between 1955 and 1959, Shankar composed the scores for which Indian director's film trilogy about Apu, the poor son of a Hindu priest, as he moves from a village to the city?
Sojit Roy?
Yes.
Yeah, Sojit Roy.
Sajid Ray is correct. Shankar won his first Grammy Award for the 1966 album West Meets East, a collaboration with which leading violin virtuoso of the 20th century?
Is it Stefan Grappelli?
Stefan Grappelli.
Yeah.
Or was it? It's not Menuhin?
Yeah. It's, Stefan Grappelli.
That wasn't, it was Yehudi Menuhin. 10 points for this. A daughter of Nyx or Night, according to the poet Hesiod, which figure of Greek mythology did Henry Fielding describe as a deity who was thought to look with an invidious eye on human felicity and to have a delight in overturning it? No, it's Nemesis. Right, 10 points for this. Give the title of the chart-topping album that marked its 50th anniversary in September 2020 with tracks including Hand of Doom, War Pigs and Iron Man. Performed
St
by...
John's Jack.
Black Sabbath?
No, you lose 5 points. Performed by band members including Bill Ward and Ozzy Osbourne.
Blacks. We need a band, do we? I mean,
Is it a band or the name of the album you want?
You can't confer.
oh,
Ooh.
Come on, one of you can buzz if you know what it is.
Bryce Palmer.
Black Sabbath.
No, I asked you for the title of the chart-topping album. It was Paranoid.
That's what we are.
Both got the group.
Definitely what we are.
Right, 10 points for this. The winners of the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award in 1976, 1980 and 84 were all competitors in which sport? All had won gold medals in the Winter Olympics in those years, their respective surnames being Curry...
St John's Jack.
Ice dancing. Ice skating.
Ice skating is correct. I'll accept that. Yeah. Well done. Too easy for you, I think. Your bonuses are on words that end with the last 3 letters of the name of the capital of Ethiopia. In each case, give the word from the description. Firstly, the cube-shaped structure in Mecca, regarded by Muslims as the most sacred spot on earth.
It's the Kaaba, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Kaaba?
The Kaaba is correct, yes. Addis Ababa, of course, is the capital I was looking for. In archaeology, an ancient Egyptian flat-top tomb, rectangular or square in plan, with sides sloping outward to the base.
Pyramid.
No,
It has to have the ABA in it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it can't be that.
I don't know.
Sorry, we don't know.
That's a mastaba. And finally, a rich yeast cake, often soaked in distilled molasses spirit.
Barber?
Barber is correct. Well done. Right, we get to the music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, I want you to tell me the name of the singer, please.
Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jangle, oh, what a beautiful sight.
St John's Jack.
Bob Hope.
Bob Hope? Anyone want to buzz from Christ?
Bryce Sanghera.
Dean Martin.
No, it's Gene Autry. How disgraceful you don't know that. Right, we're going to take music bonuses in a moment or two. 10 points for this. A 1986 poetry collection by Wendy Cope bears the title Making Cocoa for which?
St John's Lanchester.
Kingsley Amis.
Kingsley Amis is correct. Well done. So after your triumphant inability to identify Gene Autry singing Here Comes Santa Claus, your music bonus is 3 more country stars singing Christmas songs. In each case, I want you to give me the name of the artist singing.
You left a year ago this Christmas, and we're wondering if
Tammy?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's not Dolly, is it?
No, it's
Tammy Wynette?
It is Tammy Wynette, yes. Secondly,
so listen to me, here's Christmas cheers, because you won't be seeing me here. I won't decorate your Christmas tree this year.
I don't know.
You can stay out there, a toast and cheers
Yeah, maybe.
with all of your friends.
Yeah, that sounds like
It's
it.
worth a guess.
But don't count on me.
We're going to go with Dolly Parton.
no, that's Loretta Lynn. And finally,
Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. Wrap your presents to your darling from you.
Don't know.
Pretty pencils to write I love you.
It's not Johnny Cash. It's not.
No, it's definitely not.
Pretty paper,
It's not Hank Williams, not Johnny Cash.
pretty ribbons of
Kenny Rogers.
No, I don't think so.
Not him.
come on,
No, it's going to annoy us, but we don't know.
it's Willie Nelson. What a miserable Christmas it would be if you just listened to that. OK, 10 points for this. What letter of the alphabet can be used to indicate all of the following? Pearson's correlation coefficient in statistics, an unspecified alkyl...
St John's Goswami.
R.
Very good. Your bonuses are on Canadian provincial symbols. Somewhat smaller than an eagle, what fish-eating raptor is the provincial bird of Nova Scotia? The same species nests on lakes and estuaries in the UK, for example, Rutland Water.
Osprey.
Is it?
I think so.
You said smaller than an eagle.
Yeah,
Yes, it
An
is.
Osprey's
Yeah.
smaller than an eagle. Osprey.
Osprey is correct. Secondly, the provincial bird of Ontario is the common loon, a water bird distinguished by its eerie, haunting call. It's a winter visitor to Britain, where it is known by what 3-word common name?
Great crested grebe.
That's the only bird with three letters, three words.
Think of a three-letter
Grey
name.
something. Well, great crested grebe is the only one we've heard
Great
of.
is right anyway. It's Great Northern Diver. And finally, what colourful member of the crow family is the provincial bird of Prince Edward Island? A Canadian Major League Baseball team bears this name.
Blue Jay.
Blue Jay is correct. 10 points for this. The surname of which fictional character is derived from the French expression for the word inappropriate? She appears in Brinsley Sheridan's...
St John's, Lanchester.
Mrs. Malaprop.
Mrs. Malaprop is correct. You get 3 bonuses on Dame Julie Andrews. In 1966, Julie Andrews co-starred with Paul Newman in the thriller Torn Curtain. Who was the director?
It's Hitchcock, isn't it? Yeah, it's Hitchcock.
Correct. In which 1982 film does Andrews play a woman who impersonates a male-female impersonator?
Victor Victoria.
Correct. To the nearest whole number of octaves, what is Julie Andrews' vocal range? It's similar to that of the rock singers Robert Plant and Bruce Dickinson.
Isn't it 5 is like the top notch?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think it's
I thought it was 12, but I don't know.
I think it's 8 or 10.
I don't know.
I'd say.
Pick a number.
Pick 8.
We're going to pick 8.
No, it's 4. 10 points for this. Meanings of what 7-letter word include an even distribution of predominating amount, a counteracting force, a weighing apparatus, or the amount of money in a bank account?
St John's, Jack.
Balance.
Balance is correct. These bonuses are on an artist. Bathers at Asnières in London's National Gallery is a work by which artist born in Paris in 1859?
The Bathers is
Sierra, isn't it?
No, isn't it Degas? No. No, the Bathers. Yeah, I can see it in my mind's eye, but...
Is it Signac?
I thought it was Sierra.
Sarah, we'll say Sarah.
Yeah, go on.
Sierra?
Seurat is correct. Seurat's use of simple forms, light and shadow, has been compared to that of which 15th century Italian artist, whose baptism of Christ is also in the National Gallery?
Caravaggio.
Caravaggio?
No, it's Piero della Francesca. Seurat compared figures on his own paintings to those on the Pan-Athenaic frieze of Phidias, designed for which structure of the 5th century BC?
Parthenon?
Yeah, that's the Parthenon.
The Parthenon is correct, yes. Right, we're going to take a picture round now. For your picture start, you'll see a detail of a painting. 10 points if you can name the artist.
Christ's Goudie.
Bruegel.
It is Bruegel, yes. Let's see the whole thing. There it is. It was winter landscape with skaters and bird traps. So following on from that painting, your picture bonuses are 3 more paintings of birds in the snow. Name the artist in each case. Firstly...
Can't leave this to you, Lachlan.
Is it Paul Klee?
It is Paul Klee, yes, Snow Chickens. Secondly, this pre-Raphaelite artist.
Is it Dice?
No, it's not. It's Jean Everett Millet, Christmas Eve. And finally...
That's Monet.
That is Monet, the magpie. You'd have been in trouble if you hadn't got that. 10 points for this. Which ancient philosopher gives his name to the paradox defined by the dictum, no one does wrong willingly?
St John's, Franklin.
Xenon?
No.
Christ's Mort.
Plato.
No, it's Socrates. 10 points for this. I need a multiple of 50 here. 2020 saw what anniversary of the births of the Prime Ministers Robert Jenkinson and George Canning, the philosopher Hegel, William Wordsworth and Beethoven?
St John's, Franklin.
200th?
No.
Christ's Sanghera.
350.
No, it's 250. 10 points for this. Which Latin American country takes its name from a river that flows mainly north-south into the River Plate estuary? In 1930, it was the venue for the first FIFA World Cup.
St John's, Jack.
Uruguay.
Uruguay is correct. These bonuses are on events of January 1995. Which Manchester United player became the subject of media attention when he assaulted an abusive spectator in a match against Crystal Palace?
Eric Cantona.
Yes, of course. On January the 1st, 1995, which organisation came in to replace GATT, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade?
Yeah, the WTO.
Yeah, World Trade Organization.
Correct. In January 1995, the Dr. cosmonaut Valery Polyakov completed 366 consecutive days in space. On which space station?
Mir. What's it? Be Mir.
Mir. Which was the date
again?
again?
ISS, isn't it? If it's 1995.
No, it'd be Mir.
Mir.
Mir is correct. 10 points for this. Which title character of a novel of 2019 has a group of loyal friends known as the Corgis? The novel was promoted by its publishers as Bridget Jones's Diary meets Americana.
Christ Sanghera.
Queenie?
Queenie is correct. Right, your bonuses are on 2020 books on US politics. Rage is the title of which veteran journalist 2020 Chronicle of the Trump presidency? With Carl Bernstein, he co-authored the 1974 work All the President's Men.
Oh, most famous journalist ever. What's his name? Carl Bernstein? Bernstein?
Bernstein. Carl Bernstein, isn't it?
If I get this wrong, it's the end of my life.
Carl Bernstein.
Yes, particularly since I told you Carl Bernstein was the person with whom this person co-authored the book. It's Bob Woodward. The Room Where It Happened is an account by which national security advisor to President Trump. The memoir's title is based on a song in the musical Hamilton.
What's his?
Roger.
That's not going to help.
One of the many people who left the Trump.
No. Pass.
It's John Bolton. Transparently Faux Penitent was the Washington Post verdict on Disloyal, a memoir by which former attorney to Trump?
John Bolton, is it?
That was the last blooming question.
No idea.
We don't know. Pass.
It's Michael Cohen. 10 points for this. And at the Gone, Christ College, Cambridge have 50, St John's College, Oxford have 180. Well, that was an absolutely dismal performance.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Nice of you to see.
But thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations, St John's. If you're one of the 4 highest scoring winning teams, you'll be back. Bad luck. I hope you can join us next time when we'll have another first round match. But until then, it's goodbye from Christ College, Cambridge.
Farewell.
It's goodbye from St John's College, Oxford.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.